Okay, let's dive right into this explainer by unpacking a pretty uncomfortable truth about aging that dermatology research has finally officially confirmed. For years, we've treated skin aging as this universal, equal opportunity process. But the biological reality is far more complex, and frankly, it's a bit one-sided. So today, we're going to look at the hard science behind why women lose collagen faster than men, why this disparity accelerates so dramatically at one specific point in life, and most importantly, the evidence-based strategies we have to protect and rebuild that structural integrity.
I absolutely love this quote from Dr. Annika Patel because it sets the exact tone we need today. We aren't here to just accept biology and wave a white flag. No way. We are here to hack it. Knowing that the biology might be stacked against you, well, that's really only the first step. The second step is using targeted, scientific knowledge to build an unstoppable arsenal against that decline.
All right, part one, the collagen gender gap.
So here's the thing. The most fascinating baseline difference is that way before aging even enters the picture, men naturally have skin that is roughly 20 to 25% thicker. And not only is it thicker, but it actually has a much denser dermal collagen network, meaning there's literally more collagen packed into every single square inch. On top of that, male skin is more firmly attached to the underlying structures and features more active sebaceous glands, which are the ones pumping out those natural moisturizing oils. Think of your skin's structure kind of like a bank account. Because of those baseline differences we just talked about, men begin the aging process with a much larger structural reserve of collagen. It's a bigger savings account to draw from. So even if both sexes spend at the exact same rate, women will show a zero balance or, visible signs of aging earlier simply because they started with less in the vault. But as we're about to see, they don't actually spend at the same rate.
Which brings us to part two, the menopause cliff.
Now, before menopause, women actually lose collagen at roughly the same rate as men, right around 1% per year. But then, everything changes. While men just cruise along at a steady 1 to 1.5% drop for their entire lives, women face a precipitous 30% plunge in just the first 5 years post-menopause. After that massive drop, it levels out to about 2% a year, which, by the way, is still faster than the male rate. There is simply no male equivalent to this sudden drop. The crucial takeaway here is the cumulative, visible result. When you factor in the lower starting point plus that 30% drop over 5 years, the math is pretty stark. By age 60, a woman might have lost nearly half, up to 45 or 50% of her original collagen content. Meanwhile, her male peer, he's only lost about 25%. This is exactly why women can look measurably older than men of the exact same chronological age by the time they both hit their 60s.
Let's unpack the why in part three, why estrogen matters. To really understand estrogen's role, we have to zoom in on your skin cells, specifically fibroblasts. Think of fibroblasts as little collagen factories right inside your skin. Now, estrogen acts as the ultimate cheerleader for these factories. It binds to their receptors and literally tells them to constantly pump out fresh, structural collagen, specifically types I and III. As long as estrogen is around, the factories are running at total full capacity.
But building collagen is really only half the equation. You also have these enzymes called MMPs, or matrix metalloproteases. Their entire job in life is to break down old collagen. Normally, estrogen acts like a strict supervisor, keeping these destructive enzymes suppressed so they don't break down too much. But when estrogen levels plummet during menopause, those MMP enzymes run wild. Suddenly, your skin is breaking down collagen rapidly, while those fibroblast factories we just talked about are slowing down at the exact same time. And sadly, it's a total systemic failure. Elastin, which gives your skin its snapback, deteriorates way faster. Hyaluronic acid synthesis drops, meaning the skin loses that beautiful water-holding plumpness. The skin itself rapidly thins out, becoming much more fragile and translucent. And oil production crashes, leading to severe dryness. It's a profound structural change across the entire dermal matrix. All right, part 4, evidence-based solutions. Let's fix this.
Okay, so the biological mystery is solved, the mechanisms are clear. Let's transition into the fun part, building our evidence-based arsenal to fight back. Let's start with what you apply directly to your skin. Topically, you want to combine prescription retinoids like tretinoin with vitamin C and peptides. Why? Because you are layering multiple mechanisms. Retinoids are the most evidence-backed stimulators we have. They directly increase collagen while shutting down those destructive MMP enzymes. Vitamin C specifically around 15 to 20%, acts as an essential cofactor. It stimulates your fibroblasts through pathways that are entirely independent of estrogen. Add in peptide complexes like matricil or copper peptides, and you're sending even more signals to maximize production. Next up is what you put inside your body. The number 15 here represents the up to 15 grams of oral hydrolyzed collagen peptides you can take daily. In multiple randomized, placebo-controlled trials, these peptides have shown statistically significant improvements in skin hydration, elasticity, and even wrinkle depth. When they're absorbed, they act as literal building blocks for new collagen, while also signaling your body to increase its own production. It's a fantastic internal complement to your external routine. Then we have the medical intervention, hormone replacement therapy, or HRT. For candidates who can safely use it, HRT provides a massive secondary benefit by partially reversing that menopausal collagen loss from the inside out. By replacing the lost estrogen, you reactivate those fibroblasts and suppress the MMPs all over again. Now, obviously, this requires a careful conversation with a doctor to weigh individual medical risks, but the direct, measurable increases in skin collagen content within just months of use are incredibly well documented in the data. If you want to escalate your strategy beyond daily habits, professional treatments practically force your body to work for you. Procedures like microneedling, fractional lasers, or radiofrequency and ultrasound devices essentially create controlled damage or heat deep in the tissue. This forces your body into a wound-healing cascade, rushing in to build dense, brand-new collagen networks. Biostimulators take a slightly different route. They're injectables that stimulate your body's own collagen production gradually over several months, literally rebuilding the structure from the inside. Finally, you absolutely cannot ignore lifestyle factors. High cortisol from stress, poor sleep, and UV damage act like pouring gasoline on the collagen destruction fire. UV radiation is the single greatest environmental accelerator, making SPF 30 plus a daily non-negotiable. Diet matters too, guys. Excess sugar causes glycation, which literally stiffens and cross-links your collagen, making it brittle. You want to prioritize antioxidant-rich foods, do some resistance training to boost growth hormone, and most importantly, get deep sleep. That is when your body actually does the heavy lifting of repairing tissue and synthesizing new collagen. Let's pull it all together in part 5, a comprehensive strategy. We can actually structure all this science into a highly actionable routine. In the morning, you protect and supply cofactors by applying your vitamin C serum followed strictly by your SPF 30. Throughout the day, you fuel the machine from within by getting those 5 to 15 grams of oral collagen peptides. Then, in the evening, when your body is naturally preparing for repair, you heavily stimulate production with your prescription retinoid and a peptide complex. It hits the problem from every single angle. So now that you fully understand the unfair biological gap, the estrogen cliff, and the targeted scientific tools we have available to combat it, I want to leave you with one vital question to think about today. Look at the skincare routine you currently have. How will you update it right now to intervene effectively? You have the blueprint. It's time to put those fibroblasts back to work. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.